Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Thursday Wind Down Yoga. I'm bringing back the wind down aspect of it because I would like that, and hopefully you would like that too. So today we're going back to an oldie but a goodie, supported stretch. The flow will look different than we have in the past. We'll just incorporate different poses, different movements. But if you can have one, if not two blocks, that would be terrific. If you don't have blocks, something that's like supportive. If you just have a pillow, that's fine. And just so you know, everything can be done. If you choose to do it, you don't need a block necessarily. But I'm going to be guiding everything with one or two blocks. Again, if you don't use blocks in your practice and you don't have them, that's okay. A pillow in or a bolster always it's always something. So take a second, get whatever you need, and then we're gonna meet on our mats on our backs. I'm like a highlighter right now. I will be seen on this camera, I swear. All right, so get whatever you need, get comfy. We're gonna come down to our backs and just take a minute to settle in. You can have your knees, soles of your feet touching knees open, and you can put the blocks under your knees if you like. Otherwise, take any other reclined position that you like. Legs long, soles of the feet at the edges of the mat, knees knocking in. Palms can be up or down. Hand over the heart, hand over the belly is the option I'm choosing. And bring your awareness to the breath. We often spend our days not really paying much attention to how we are breathing. And it's a nice way to mindfully, deliberately slow ourselves down by taking in a slow inhale through the nose and just releasing it through your mouth. Let's try that 2 more times. Inhale through your nose. Open the mouth wide, let it out. One more time, eyes can begin to close if you like. And then just allow your breath to flow through your nose in a way that feels comfortable and soft. Just have a couple minutes here, settle in. Connect your body with your mat or your blanket, whatever you're lying on. Maybe you're in a chair. Excellent. From here, you can keep the eyes closed or open. You're going to bring the soles of the feet down to the mat. Just take a moment to press the lower back down into the earth. And then you're just going to let the knees drop to one side. If you'd like the knees to land on a block, excellent. If you'd like to remove the block, that's fine too. The knees just drop over. You can look over the opposite shoulder. And then on an inhale, send those knees back up. And then on that lazy exhale, let the knees gently glide to the other side. They can be supported by a block, or you can set the block away, block or pillow. My hair bun is like putting my head like 2 inches above the ground. There we go. Option to send the gaze or the nose over the opposite shoulder. From here, wherever you are, you're going to keep your knees draped over, and then just bring your torso and arms to the same side, making a fetal position. And then carefully pressing your body upright to a seated position. Easy seat, legs crossed or knees, or sitting on your knees. I like to sit on a block. Here, I just like the extension of my spine. This is also really nice if you're working towards sitting on your knees. You can have the block at various heights. And it takes a lot of the pressure off of the knees. while still giving you that upright spine. So from here, we're just gonna rock our necks slowly, or rock our head slowly back and forth. So just take a breath in, lift the heart ever so slightly, feel that uplifting, victorious energy on the inhale. And then exhale, relax the shoulders, melt into your seat, let the nose drop down towards the belly, chin tucks in. And then beginning to match movement with breath, send right ear towards right shoulder. And then exhale, left ear to left shoulder. And again. Take a couple moments with this, a couple breaths. Be really mindful of the lowest point in the semicircle you are drawing with your nose. And the way the back of the neck and the shoulders get a little stretched. Nice and smooth, just gliding back and forth. Take any additional movements with your head and neck that you'd like here. Some people like to gaze up and around. Just move slowly and carefully. You can bring a supportive hand to where the neck meets the shoulder. Give a little massage. I had a massage today. Sometimes they're not the most gentle. I'll just leave it at that. So I'm doing a little self-massage right now. Take a breath just to come back to that uplifted spine. And wherever you are, you can keep the block under your seat if you like. We are going to come to a cross-legged position. Just keep in mind what we're about to do next is a little bit harder with the block because you're creating a little more length. But if you'd like to remove the block at any point, please do so. We're going to inhale, right arm up, left hand either on the ground or hovering just above. Exhale, lean into that left side, stretch up the right body. Turn the rib cage a little bit higher up. So it's a little side stretch, it's a little front body, and find a little bit of movement here. Side stretch, heart shines up. You can gaze down at that hand, then gaze up at the sky. Little mini flow of movement. And then on your exhale, melt over that left, so much stuff, left knee. Trying to ground in that right hip, even though we're leaning over. Again, you might feel a little unstable on the block, in which case you can lower it to its flattest level or remove it entirely. Inhale, walk the hands to the center, sending the hips back. So you're getting this kind of counter stretch. Hips back and down, arms forward, stretched. Inhale here. And exhale, walking the arms to the right knee, nose down, pressing in with the left hip just a little more. And then we're gonna roll up, right hand on the ground. Inhale, left arm up. Exhale, lean to the right. So right hand down, left hand up, and begin to find that little bit of movement just in this like rib cage heart area. You're also working your spine and the shoulder blades as you just do this like gentle opening, like you're like a bit of algae in the ocean, just flowing, changing shape a little. One more breath here, and then exhale, bow over that right knee. Relax the neck and the head. Inhale, walk hand over hand to the center. Let the head go. And next breath, reaching to the left. And just roll yourself back up. Woo. Excellent job. So now we're going to come into a child's pose, but we have the option of using our blocks, which will give us a little bit more space and maybe a very different experience. So you're going to have your blocks where your hands are going to go. Come into your tabletop. Find whatever child's pose leg positions you like, either knees under hips or knees a little bit wider, big toes together. Inhale. Here, send the heart a little bit more forward. And then exhale, melt those hips back towards your heels. You may have to adjust the blocks. Palms on the lowest setting of the blocks. And breathe. you need to adjust the setting on the blocks, once you find this position, feel free to do what feels best. Alternatively, you can tent up on your fingertips or just have your palms flat on the ground. If you're no matter where you are, breathe into the length of the spine and bring your awareness to the shoulder blades. One more breath. And then exhale, moving back through tabletop. Take a couple cat and cows. You can also keep the blocks here and see how the cat-cow position feels different. If you have one block, you can bring it to the middle and place both hands on it, just to get a little bit of a different sensation. Find your own movement here. Moving deliberately, slowly, so that you really warm up the small parts of your body as well. We don't just zoom past. We really activate everything here. If you want to take any additional movements, go for that. And then we're going to keep the blocks in front of us as we tuck our toes, send our hips back, downward facing dog. Be mindful if you're on a slippery surface here, you might have to just put your hands back on the ground, but hopefully your mat has a little bit of resistance. And just breathe. Have the knees bend. And once you settle into this downward, let's take 2 cycles of breath in through the nose, deeply, sigh it out through the mouth. One more. Inhale deeply through the nose. Big mouth, sigh it out. Maybe gaze forward and just take big steps to walk our feet towards our hands. Here you can adjust the blocks to any height. Again, if you have one, just place it in the middle. Bend the knees and let the head be heavy. Blocks are especially useful if you have any injuries of the muscles of the back legs. So you're not sort of stretching beyond your limits. You can have a little bit of support and still get the stretch. Still create a little bit of like a safer stretching environment. Good, we're gonna bend our knees and slower than you've gone typically. Let's roll up one vertebrae at a time, really slow. Feel the fingers drift off the floor or the blocks. Feel yourself uncurling. At the top, roll the shoulders back, take in that refreshing inhale. Inhale, arms up, tall standing mountain, gaze lifts, everything lifts, maybe even heels lift. Exhale, heels come down, forward fold, hands to blocks, bow. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, roll on up. Finishing with arms overhead, gaze lifts, heart lifts, maybe heels. Exhale, heels come down, begin to fold. Hands to blocks. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, bend the knees, roll up. Tall mountain, final one. Reach the tallest you can. Exhale, forward fold. Hands to blocks. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. And just hang. You can reach for opposite elbows with a bend in the knee and bring a sway. You can just hang out here on those blocks, or if there's nothing there, just hang out in your forward fold. All right. Deep breath in. Exhale, can you melt a little more? Settle. Sorry, I'm not sure about that. Do you hear this? Do you hear this? my smart things talking again. I'm not even going to say their name because then we're never going to end this. All right, so your feet are about hip width distance apart. Perhaps they're a little closer, perhaps they're a little further. It's all good. You're going to bend your knees and you're going to roll up, but take the blocks with you. And just roll the shoulders back. Good, you're going to shake out the legs. Come to face the long edge of your mat. With one hand, you're going to throw a block away, so we don't need it. Well, I'll probably need it later and regret throwing it that far away. But for now, we just want one. We're going to go into Malasana, our deep squat. So we're going to do our best to place it underneath our booties on the ground. Just being aware that for a little more height, you get a little less surface area. So we're going to go down nice and slowly. I'm going to go on this medium height. So if this is 1, 2, and 3, I'm going to go on 2. I'm going to place it right between my heels. I'm going to open my legs a little wider than my shoulders, roll back the shoulders, have the spine ready to go. I'm going to inhale, arms up, and then exhale, palms come together. Toes are slightly turned out. We're going to begin to squat on down as we bring our hands to our heart. At any point you want to send your hands to the floor, feel free. So this is where you're going to have to get a little creative. So you're going to make sure that you can actually get your booty on the block. So make any little adjustments to nice and slowly guide yourself there. If this is just like not your thing, just remove the block, change the position to something that feels better for you. So hopefully we are balanced on our blocks. We're going to press our elbows into our inner thighs. And in that gesture, also send our heart forward. Shoulder blades come together in their pockets, a little squeeze of the shoulder blades. We're just going to find this resistance. Elbows against thighs, heart pressing forward. And breathe. You can close your eyes, no matter where you are and what your position is, as long as you find a place of rest. Begin to breathe. One more deep breath in. Exhale, you can open your eyes. This is a little, again, move nice and slowly because, of course, the block, if we move it, we're just going down. So I'm going to bring my hands behind me, and I'm going to change my block setting to be its flattest. Oh, my music just got very loud. If you would like to not have a block for this, that's absolutely fine. You can still access the movement. My hands are behind my back for a little bit of like, I feel like I have a lot of thoughts of what I could call this pose. But either way, you have your toes out like a frog, knees high, fingertips pressed behind you, heart open. Feel into the glory. And then exhale, I'm going to drop my knees to the left. And you might feel that right knee stretching the outer edge of that thigh, that hip. Stretch as your knee drops down. Inhale up, and knees drop to the right. They don't have to touch the ground. We are just going for hip mobility here. Feet are flexed, and you shift from one edge of the foot to the other. Good, trying to keep a little posture in your spine. If you feel comfortable, you can lift your hands and just kind of use them as a little bit of support, like a place of balance, wherever you might need them. But that's not, you don't need to do that. That just will activate the core a little bit more if that's what you're going for. If you're having trouble balancing, you can try it without the block. Good. Take a couple more gentle windshield wipes of your knees, feeling in the hips, the range of motion. And then gently guide your legs back up to neutral, knees up. We're going to come back onto the block if you removed it. So just sit on its on the flattest setting, the lowest setting. And here we're going to open our legs. There's so much of this like frontal view. Apologize. Open your legs into a straddle. They don't have to be in a split. If you'd like to put pillows under your knees to support your hamstrings, I encourage you to do that. Just take a moment, get what you need, get comfortable. Again, pillow under the knees, an option. And then inhale, heart lifts, spine is long. Flex the toes up to the ceiling. Just as we begin, we're going to place the left fingers down, either on the earth or reaching towards the earth, right hand up. And then exhale, lean into the left side. Find a little bit of fluid motion as we turn upwards to the sky and gaze back down. Using your left hand to really support your body. And then gently come on back up. When you're ready, right fingers down, left arm up high, and same thing. Notice if the sides feel different. And meet those differences with respect. It's your body telling you some information about yourself. A little bit of movement. And come back up. This next part is, of course, as are all of these movements, optional, but I encourage you to have a block or a pillow handy. We're going to go into our forward fold. So you're going to place your block or your pillow out in front, somewhere where you can sort of lean into as you go forward. So you might have literally 3 or 4 pillows going if you have them under your legs. And this is not for you to reach your peak. This is simply to get some hip opener and to feel a stretch along the inner thighs of the legs and keep the toes pointed up to the ceiling. If you'd like to bring a little bit of movement in just to help you drop more deeply, feel free. Good, and at any point if this gets too intense, adjust accordingly. Lift your body, bring your legs a little closer together. Your body's not really going to open to you if you feel that you're like forcing or you're working against your body. So find that sweet spot and start there. Maybe 2 more breaths or so. And then carefully planting the palms on the ground, roll that spine up. And we're going to use our hands underneath left knee, gently guide that knee up, sole of the foot plants. Same thing on the right. Wonderful. Just remove the block for a moment. As we set up for our concluding poses, we're going to come back to the mat facing the back edge. And we're going to have a block handy. We're going to roll onto our spine, soles of the feet on the ground. Have your block within arm's reach. You're going to walk your heels close to your booty so that you can almost touch them with your fingertips. You're going to inhale to lower the lower back to the ground, like you're pressing your belly button into the ground. You'll feel that curve begin to flatten out a little. And then inhale, lift the hips. Here is where you're going to slide the block underneath, just like right below, right in that tailbone region, there's like a flat plate. You might feel like a little flat area. As long as it's comfortable and not putting pressure on your lower spine directly, you should be in a good spot. I have mine on my medium setting here, but take whatever height feels good for you. And here we're just going to breathe into this. Knees are up, palms are flat. We're going to inhale, arms come up overhead. Exhale, let them drop behind, backs of the hands to the floor. Inhale, bring them up. Exhale, down past your sides. 2 more like that. Find your rhythm with your breath. Inhale, up and back. And exhale, reverse. 1 more. I need to move this couch out of the way. And send it back up. Wonderful. Here, if you are on a medium or high setting, Simply squeeze your glutes, lift the hips, and send the block to its lowest setting. If you are already there and you're comfortable, you can stay, or you can just remove the block. Here we're gonna inhale, lift the right leg off the ground, knee towards your heart. Begin to extend the heel. Your leg does not have to come straight. Exhale to hold. Inhale, hold. And then exhale, bend the knee, send it back down. You might feel it in your core, that slow release. Inhale, left leg comes knee comes towards your heart. Exhale, begin to extend that leg long, does not have to straighten out. Hold for a breath. And on your next exhale, bend that knee, send that foot back down. One more time each side. Inhale, right knee out and up. Exhale, send it down. Last one, inhale, left knee. Leg is long. And then exhale, send it down. Wonderful. Again, squeeze the glutes before we lift the hips. That's a good practice for our lower back. And then gently lower, so nice, back to the floor. Let's give our knees a nice little squeeze, a little hug for ourselves. I'm like, good job, legs, you did it. You've done it again. You've gotten us through another day. You've gotten us from one point to another, to another, to another, even if that is just bed, fridge, yoga mat. Repeat. And from here, release the hug and just let your knees drop wherever's comfortable. You always have the option to let them come to a block. That's sometimes very, very soothing. If not, you can let them come all the way to the floor. Pressing both shoulders into the ground equally. We'll just emphasize that twist, but take it wherever you like. And then on an inhale, bring those knees up. Exhale, hug it in, squeeze out the air. Then release the tension of that hug, and just wherever's comfortable, let the knees drop to the other side. They can, again, always drop onto a block or a pillow. And then letting those knees come back up. You can do one final hug. You can even squeeze yourself with so much love that your head comes off the floor. And then exhale, release completely onto your mat. You can now use those pillows in a snuggly way. You can even use the block underneath the shoulder blades if you'd like a little more opening, like a little bit of a modified heart bench. Go for that. For that, I recommend having it be long ways down your spine so that your shoulder blades can kind of go around it a little more easier. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, let it all go. Feel your body pulling towards the ground. Inhale, breathe in the air above and around you. And exhale, settle into the ground below. Shavasana. Deep breath in. And a full exhale, nothing else to do. Your Next exhale, see if you can surrender completely into the mat. Feel tension release in the body. Let the exhale guide your mind and spirit to a restful place. A deep sigh after a long day. And then the next inhale is one of rejuvenation, one of brightness and reanimation. If you'd like, you can remain in this position. This is what's serving you best. Otherwise, you can bring some movement into the outer edges of your body, maybe the toes and the fingers, becoming aware of those movements again. Perhaps you'd like to take a deep good morning stretch, just being mindful if you have a block under your body. And however suits your body best, come slowly up to that comfortable seated position. Some like to move through a fetal position and press themselves up. Perhaps you just like to lift your body off the block and continue with the momentum. Once you find yourself upright, you again can slide the block under your seat or just sit comfortably on the mat, bringing fingertips of your thumb and index finger together, backs of the hand resting along your legs. Gently drop the chin toward your chest. Eyes can close. Breathe in deeply here. Full exhale. Let the breath return to a natural and normal, comfortable rhythm. Inhale, hands to heart. Here I honor you for coming to practice and just you as a human being on this earth, doing all of the things that make it possible for you to endure and continue on and persevere. I honor our community that we've built together. I honor the earth that supports us and the air and the breath that nourishes us. Inhale, bring the thumbs to the forehead. And just exhale, gently bow, lowering down. Here I offer namaste. Thank you so much for joining us today in practice and in breath and in stretch. Just an update this Saturday. I will not be able to hold practice. This month is a little wonky when it comes to my usual schedule. So please just check in with the newsletter for any changes. They literally change as the days go on. So some things may just have a modified time. Some things may be canceled or just rescheduled. So this Saturday, no class, but we will reconvene next Thursday. And I'm hoping we can also do an outdoor class in the next 2 weeks. So stay tuned for that. I hope you have a lovely rest of your evening. So take care and be well. Good night, everyone.